Hello, welcome back to Hunter Tune. Today we are going to be working on an EK Honda Civic. This car is a coupe, and it's got a turbo single cam in it. It's got a D16 Y7 block with a D16 Y8 cylinder head, Y8 intake manifold, one of the eBay cast iron one runner wastegate manifolds, and I don't know what turbo it is. It says Garrett on it. It looks to be like a 3071-ish size, maybe a little bit bigger. It's kind of hard to tell from just looking at it. But yeah, pretty cool setup here. It is a Viterra build, so it has the Viterra pistons and a Speed Factory no-notch connecting rod. It also has some valve springs and retainers in the cylinder head, but it is running a stock camshaft. It also does have the D16 Y7 crankshaft, which you guys know is not the best, but we're going to send it and see what kind of power we can make with it, and we're going to be doing some flex fuel tuning. So this car actually has one of the flex fuel sensors on the return line, and we're going to be tuning it on pump gas and then tuning it on E85, and then making a flex tune for the sensor. I don't really do a lot of these flex tunes just because here in Wisconsin it is so easy to get ethanol everywhere that I just run ethanol all the time, because who doesn't want more power all the time? And I've left ethanol sit in cars for a year or two and really haven't had any negative effects from it. That's just my personal experience with ethanol, but I mean, I run it in daily drivers. And my last turbo truck I ran for 60,000 miles with a set of Hunter tuned injectors and E85 for that whole time, and never once ran pump gas through it. In the dead of winter and in the heat of the summer, it ran awesome. The consistency around my area is very good. Pretty much every gas station you go to is E85. So yeah, anyways, back to the car here. First things first is we're going to do some checkovers on this thing. I would love to film with my new freaking camera that I paid quite a bit of money for, but here I am using my old GoPro Hero Session, just a little freaking camera that I've had ever since I started the channel, and it's just been the best camera I've ever had, and it's the one that I've been using pretty much solely. And I wanted to get this one to use for making better quality videos and stuff, but it just freaking keeps giving me problems. Like, it doesn't turn on. It doesn't, like, I'll start filming something and then it will completely just shut off on me and it won't turn back on, and I don't know, it's just a bunch of freaking issues. It's the new GoPro 7 Black, and I just have nothing but issues with it. So that's super annoying that this was like $400 camera and I can't even freaking use it. So, oh well. We'll use old trusty for now. Never lets me down. Alright, so we are going to start by doing some basic stuff. We have to replace the wideband sensor because the wideband is bad. It is not working currently on the gauge inside the car, so we have to replace the sensor. And we also are going to do just basic checkups. Check the oil, check the antifreeze. Nothing in there. Yo, we got the headband again. I don't know where I left off. I've just been kind of wrenching away on this thing. We got the new wideband sensor installed, and yeah, now we are moving on to starting to tune on this thing. Dyno's all set up, ready to go. I had to play with this thing quite a bit to get it to run all right. There was a lot of stuff in the tables that were just not the greatest. So I got my ignition table set very conservative. We're tuning this car on pump gas right now, and then after we tune pump gas, we're going to tune it on ethanol using the flex sensor. But for now, we are just tuning it on pump, like I said. So we are going through and got the fuel tables cleaned up very well, and I'm just going through and tuning my low cam map. So VTEC is currently disabled, and we are tuning our whole map here for non-VTEC operation. I have the rev limiter set at 7,000. I don't rev these Y series engines really any higher than that. Doesn't really pay. Let's see here, miscellaneous. We got we have our boost cut set, 20 pounds. Closed loop is disabled, so we can tune our maps. So we're gonna run through this thing just cruising on it. Air fuel is fucking perfect. I already got pretty much all the cruising stuff dialed in pretty well, besides like right here. There's that spot that was lean before that I just fixed. Perfect now. So we're gonna do a run on this thing. I have no idea what kind of boost controller is on it. It's just got like a bleed valve style boost controller, and I don't know quite what boost it's on, but we have our boost cut set, and I know the fuel is good up to about 13 pounds. I hit just kind of tuning on the maps. So we're gonna do a dyno run. Very, very low ignition timing right now, and the air fuel should be right on the money, I'm hoping. So we're gonna start the run at 2500, third gear. This is a Y7 transmission, so the gears are really long. And yeah, no VTEC, let's hit it. I forgot to frickin' record on the logger. I could probably get a good indicator that that was around 10 to, in between 10 and 15 pounds. No VTEC, like I was saying. Air fuel was right on the money, just like I thought it'd be. I got the maps pretty dialed. After doing that K-Series car, these are a little bit easier for me because I'm not having to do 0 cam angle, 10 angle, you know, 10, 20, 30. This is just one map, so it's a lot easier. It makes me appreciate a D-Series a little bit more. Alright, let's see here. Let's see what this turd laid out. Oh yeah, we need VTEC. Curve looks good though. Looks pretty much exactly how it should. 174 horsepower, no VTEC. Let's turn the VTEC on, bro. So we're gonna turn the VTEC on this car really early. I'm thinking it's gonna like VTEC around 35 to 4,000. Somewhere in here, you can see kind of right where it's like starting to plateau right here. We can probably kick this up into high gear, just putting VTEC down here. So we're gonna try it. If it dips, it dips. We'll raise it up. On a turbo car, I usually like to set the VTEC as low as possible just to get the turbo spooled up a little bit faster. Let's see here. So now for our VTEC side, I already have the timing table built. So I mean, like 12 pounds of boost, it's running 14 degrees of timing. Like I said, this is pump gas and it's a D-Series. D-Series cars fucking hate timing. You put too much timing in and we're gonna kill this Felpro head gasket pretty quick. So this car does have a Felpro head gasket, so that's just another thing that I am, you know, noting mentally. So we're gonna copy our low cam over to our high cam now. And we're gonna splash in a couple percent on the VTEC side, upload that, and then we're gonna go to parameters, and we're gonna go to VTEC, and we're gonna turn it on, turn it on, turn it on, and we're gonna start at 4,000 for the VTEC engagement. Kaboom. Kaboom. Okay. logger on the computer and on the dyno. We'll go to our graph here, kind of see what we laid down for boost pressure. Looks like we spiked, came up to about 10 pounds, 13, 15.5, 16 pounds, and then it fell off. So it definitely fell off on boost pressure at the higher RPM. It did spike up and then fall back off. That's just the nature of one of these manual boost controllers. That's kind of just what they do. And you can see here, air fuel, we do have that actually logged into the ECU. So 1170, 1150, 1160, 1140. It gets a little fat up top. So above about 6,500, I'm gonna pull a little bit of fuel out of it before we even look at the dyno curve. Just because this Y7, they're not that efficient. Or these little D series, they're just not that efficient. So we'll pull 5 up top, above 65 or so. We could probably put a degree of timing up here as well, just because we'll try to carry it as much as we can. So we'll add 1 degree above 6,500 where I saw that the fuel value was starting to go richer. We're gonna try to carry that with some timing up in the higher RPM. This guy wants to make 350 wheel with this thing. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. But, wow. VTEC made a good difference. We're making 235 horsepower now. And you guys can see here where it beforehand was, you know, flattening off really hard above 4,500, and now 4,000. On the new run, we actually lost power up to about 4,500. So that's telling me that the VTEC actually might like to be a little bit higher. But yeah, nonetheless, it pretty much overlaid below 5,000 RPM, and then above 5,000 where VTEC was jamming. We did pick up quite a bit of power, and I bet you up here we'll see a little bit more of a gain now that I took that little bit of fuel out and put 1 degree of timing in it. So we will compare this current blue line to this next run that I'm going to do, just putting 1 degree above 6,500 and taking out just that little bit of fuel way up top. All right. And then our pump gas map, I feel like we'll probably be pretty close to done on pump gas, and then we'll drain all this junk out of here and put some good corn juice in it. Everything looked really good there. Might have to do some 4th gear runs. 3rd gear acts like it's a Y8 trans almost. The gears are kind of short, so we may start doing 4th gear runs when we turn the power up. Yeah, just like I said, guys. We did pick up power way up top here, like I was saying. So I'll zoom in on it actually, so you guys can see it a little better. So here's our gain that we just did. And we picked up 7 horsepower, pulling that little bit of fuel out of it and putting a degree in way up top. The dyno is off by a few hundred RPM here, not too much, just 200 or 300. So yeah, thing's doing pretty good. Running well, running well. We could probably turn the boost up a little bit higher on pump gas, but I don't see a point. I'd rather just get the ethanol in it right away, and we'll start tuning the flex fuel. Checking out what this thing has for boost control on it. It's right here. So T. This is a. I forget what kind of brand that is. I don't know. Well, nonetheless, let's go get some ethanol.
Until we have a vaccine. So I want to level set for a moment and talk about.
Oh, just tune cars, Hunter. Don't even fucking look at this shit. You guys know that I've been really busy out here lately, and it's just been kind of, I don't know, it's been stressful for me just because I've been so busy coming out here and doing injector orders and doing all that stuff, being a one-man show. It literally consumes my whole day every single day, and I can't really get to finishing my projects like I want to do to make me happy. I know I'm making a bunch of people happy helping a bunch of other people out with their stuff, but at the same time, I may be taking a week off here pretty soon and just doing me for a week just to catch up on some of my own personal stuff. Just because the stay-at-home order just got extended another 32 days or another 30 days here in my state of Wisconsin, and the amount of people infected here are less than, it's like 1/100th of 1%. 1/100th of 1% or some shit like that, and that's the amount of people in the state that are affected by it, not even the people that are dying. And I got a few people that are in healthcare, and this shit sucks. Like, fuck this. I feel like you're either going to piss people off by extending this stay at home longer. You're just going to make people mad, and they're already planning riots and planning protests at the Capitol. They're already planning on doing that stuff, and it's just going to get worse if we don't get freedom soon. And we're just going to fight back, and we're going to fight back so we can go racing and go out in the world at our own risk. That's what we do every day anyway. We all go out into the world at our own risk, and we all take risk every single day. If you don't want to take that risk, you should have the freedom to stay home by yourself if you want. But if you want to go out in the world and take that risk yourself, you can. You should have that choice. That's my rant. All right, guys, I don't quite know where I left off. I actually had that car on the dyno that we got a couple clips with. I had to cut the tuning session short because the car actually started to slip the clutch when we put ethanol in it. So I did get it tuned on the flex fuel sensor for the guy, and we did make some pretty decent power with the car on like 20 pounds of boost or so, 18, 20. It was making 280 horsepower slipping the clutch. So this was our best run with that car. And as you guys can see, all these runs kind of run to 7,000 RPM. Besides this one right here where the cursor is, it stops at 6,000. Even though I did rev the car 7,000, it couldn't spin the roller up high enough to actually complete the whole run. So that pass probably would have made 300 if the clutch would have held, but clutch wasn't holding. And yeah, so I will probably go over in another video doing the flex fuel stuff. It worked pretty well. With S300, it's pretty easy. I got the car tuned on pump gas, and then I went through and went into the content sensor tables and added fuel in at 60%, and then a little more at 80, and then a little more at 100% ethanol, and then the sensor will compensate for it, and then you can add additional ignition timing to the car at certain ethanol percentages. You can also add more boost pressure if it has a 4-port, which would have been ideal if that car had a 3 or 4-port boost control wired into the ECU, so I could tell it to turn the boost up when it had more ethanol in it. That would have been a perfect scenario. I would have ran the car 14-15 pounds on pump gas, no problem, and then when it saw over 60% ethanol, it could throw in fucking 30 pounds of boost or whatever. So anyways, this is another car that I'm working on currently. It is a EG coupe with a kind of Frankenstein engine in it. It has an F22B bottom end, H22 head K-Series pistons, I believe is the build, and it has an eBay kit. And I wanted to go over some things on this with you guys quick, just to show you some issues that I'm having with it. The car initially came in with a resistor box plugged into it, like they had DSM injectors in it at one point. The guy actually swapped over to the Hunter tuned injectors, and the Hunter tuned injectors do not require a resistor box. So with the resistor box plugged in and the Hunter tuned injectors installed, it was not running right. So I deleted the resistor box. So I cut all the wires out of here, and then I just tied all of them together, so they all can see their 12 volt power like they need to. So that's pretty much what you do to delete the box, is you just tie all the wires together into one bunch. So I did that, and then I installed a wideband into the car, and I also installed a dump tube onto the wastegate here, because super tight fit with the alternator in this car, and it also had zero exhaust on it when it came in. So I made a little downpipe with the piping that he gave me, and yeah, this is an eBay kit with the eBay manifold. Let's see here. Let me grab a light quick so I can show you guys what's up with that. This K-Series car is also ready to go. I actually just got back yesterday. I took the Barney car and I took the RSX to get alignments done, because both cars had really messed up toe in the front, so whenever you would drive them, they would throw you all over the road. So both of those cars are aligned and all good to go. I actually got my buddy Fernando came up here yesterday and sold me a traction bar. So I have a traction bar here that I needed the bars from to hook up the traction bar on my the Barney Civic. And also I got a bunch of random parts here for my truck that I'm going to be building, new radiator. That should be coming this week, I'm hoping. I'm going to be putting that thing together. And the Mustang is getting a lot of parts as well. I have a lot of parts on the way incoming for it. And we are welding up all the seams on the car. I'll show you. So like the upper control arm mounts and all that stuff is really just kind of spot welded from the factory. So we are welding all the seams on the car where the box is, you know, kind of attached to the car. Same with the torque boxes. We are welding all those solid, because this thing was like completely stock. It didn't have nothing welded or nothing. And then we also did the same with the cross member up front. And I'm cleaning the welds up on the anti-roll bar. This thing's gonna be an animal, guys. Just wait. Very soon. Very soon. Bunch of really cool stuff coming for the Mustang. So, if you guys can see here, this eBay manifold is welded on the two sides where the runners go onto the flange, but it's not welded at all on the top or bottom on any runner of this frickin' manifold. So that's not good. This car also has the composite gaskets in between the T3 flange of the turbo and the T3 flange of the manifold. It has those frickin' junk gaskets that eBay gives you when you get one of these kits. So I'm just warning the customer, like, hey dude, this manifold's not gonna last because it's a cheap, you know, pop can fucking manifold. And then those gaskets obviously are gonna blow out at some point, probably on the dyno. And then another thing with this car, when it came in, is the TPS was way out of whack. So I had to fix that and get the TPS registering right with Honda Tuning Suite. I did that. And this car's been off for like, I don't know, a long time. And it has a crazy amount of pressure in the hoses still. So I'm hoping that this car doesn't have a bad head gasket, but it almost seems like it has a bad head gasket. Yeah, it's just kind of what I've been dealt with this car. I'm doing the best I can with it. At least I got it running. Well, it barely even moved coming in here. Now it has a full exhaust all the way out the back. I will show you what we had to do to make the exhaust work. The welds on this exhaust, it was all like not completely welded all the way around the pipe on a lot of spots back here. So we had to fix that, and then we adapted into the fact, you know, the cap back here just because that's what the customer wanted. We had to extend the downpipe and hook into the resonator there and then run it all the way back. This guy wanted to have this thing, it's a daily driver car, and he wants it on pump gas and have a full exhaust. So I don't know, I wouldn't do it this way, but you know, I'm just kind of doing what the customer's telling me to do. And yeah, we'll go from there, I suppose. Hopefully we can make some power with it, or at least just make it safe and drivable for the guy. And then this one should be out of here. I'll probably get on the dyno with it tomorrow. And then tomorrow evening, I'm probably going to take the RSX for a quick street drive to make sure the alignment feels good and everything like that. And then I also have a car here. This is an EG hatch. I don't really want to spoil anything with it, but it may or may not be mine. And yeah, baby. This car has been sitting for like 15 years, and I talked a guy into selling it to me today. So, yeah, it's kind of a barn find Civic, and as you guys can see, it is pretty retro. So, yeah, this car is pretty cool. EG hatch. I like the seats. I'm going to be actually taking the seats out of this car and putting them into the Barney Civic, because these seats are, you know, they're a racing seat, and this car is not really a racing car. It's just a single cam. So it also has a pretty dope steering wheel. I forget what brand it is. I'll show you guys quick. I'm not really a fan of the wheel, but it is a pretty nice wheel. I believe it's Avenue steering wheel with quick release. I don't know. I don't really know nothing about it. But it's a pretty solid car, guys. It's not really bad for the price I paid. And it may be just kind of a little side project here and there whenever I get some free time. Obviously I've been extremely busy lately, and kind of stressing myself out in a sense, because I've been getting a lot of injector orders and I can't really fill them because I don't have stock. And I really need to keep stock in injectors, because if I don't, then obviously I can't really make the money. So I'm trying to just buy as many injectors as I can. So anybody out there that has flex fuel style or normal style truck injectors, hit me up. I'm mainly running out of the flex style injectors, but I am slowly filling orders. I'm about a couple days out. Normally I can get them out like same day, next day type of shit, but it's been hectic lately, and I haven't been able to replenish my stock fast enough. With this stimulus checks coming in and coronavirus and everything going on, people are definitely hitting me up a lot more lately, so I apologize for any delays in order time or delays in getting back to people. I really apologize about that, but I'm doing the best I can. And yeah, doing a couple full-time jobs at once it's a task, let me tell you. But I figured I'd talk to you guys at the end of this video and just kind of tell you what's been going on for the last few days. And now you can see that we got this little thing in here, and yeah, gonna move on and keep trucking as hard as we can. I get myself down a lot when I get a lot of work, and I get stressed out when I have too much work going on. But at the end of the day, I'm just kind of getting used to this lifestyle, and you know, I'm just going to keep adapting and keep getting stronger and being more efficient as a tuner and a builder and a business owner. I'm just trying to get more efficient and adapt to this crazy, hectic lifestyle that I've been living lately, being a one-man show. So yeah, I'm gonna just grind as hard as I possibly can and help as many people as I can. That's the goal. So yeah, can't wait to bring you guys along, and have a great night and a better tomorrow. We will see you later.